and welcome back to my channel. I am Jen and we are here to talk about backpacks. If you are a petite woman or you have a short torso, then this is the gear video for you. I have tried on so many packs and I want to share things that I liked and didn't like about each of them so that you can save some time. And I think you should stick around to the end of this video because we have some really important lessons learned. Why do I need a new pack? Well, I have this Osprey Kite. It's a 46 liter. It is from, 2014-15. I think it's about 6 years old. And I originally got this pack for a trip to Patagonia where we were kind of going to be in town some, and then we were going to be out backpacking for a few days. So we needed something that kind of could do both. And I love how comfortable this pack is. It's extremely narrow, and it has an adjustable height here. It does mean though, as a result, it's extremely heavy. It has an external pocket for your water reservoir. And I know everybody on the AT is like, just take smart bottles, it's so easy. Well, that's really great to say unless you have tiny little T-Rex arms and you can't reach your water bottle. So let's kind of talk a little bit about some of the things I don't like about this pack and why I was looking to replace it. I don't like hip belt pockets, and I specifically don't like these. They're rounded, which makes them harder to open and close. And I can get a smartphone in there, but it's a lot of work. And I really prefer no hip belt pockets, and I have a super cute Light AF fanny pack, and I like to wear that instead because it's one big pocket in the front and it makes it easier. I don't particularly like packs with brains. I never know kind of what to put in there. I just prefer the big cavernous pack with the roll top. And the other thing I don't like about this pack, it was super convenient for our trip to Patagonia, but this is a sleeping bag compartment, and I don't find that to be very convenient because you're looking at putting in your pack liner, then you can't get to anything. So this is useful, and the zipper's just extra weight and a place for water to get in. So what do I want in a new pack? Access to water, lightweight and waterproof material like a Dyneema, and I really like that this has a mesh pocket as opposed to a cloth exterior pocket. I don't want a lot of bells and whistles. I originally chose a Z-Packs Arc Scout. I loved everything about this pack, but I really struggled with getting the water bottles in and out, and it fit great in the torso and in the hips, but the shoulders, if you look at the Osprey here, you'll see they start kind of close together, and it has the S-shaped straps. And in the Arc Scout, which is made for teenagers, it's made for someone with a smaller torso, the straps are just too far apart, and they were coming down and hitting my arms. And I worked with the folks at Z-Packs and their customer service team. They were fantastic, giving me tips to try to help fit it properly. And ultimately, I could not make it work, so I had to send it back. And I was super sad because that pack weighed in at 17 ounces. My Kite, 54. So it was a huge weight savings, and I didn't feel like it was super expensive compared to other packs on the market. I felt like the weight savings absolutely justified the price. Having good luck with Z-Packs, but just not having quite the right fit, I decided to look at some other smaller manufacturers of lightweight gear. So my next stop was Gossamer Gear. And most of their packs are made for, if you look at the description, it says 5'4" and over. Well, I'm 4 feet 10 inches tall, so that's not gonna work. But they had just come out with the G240, and they had smalls in stock. And so I ordered one. I thought that was a fantastic pack. Again, super light, really minimalist. I had some trouble with the water bottle pockets again. Ultimately, I had the same problem with the Gossamer Gear as I had with the Z-Packs, where it fit in the torso and it fit in the waist, but the shoulders straps were too far apart, so they were pressing into my arms. So unfortunately, I had to send that one back, and I was really disappointed because I think that it was great quality and a great pack overall. After striking out with the Z-Packs and the Gossamer Gear, I decided to step back and bite the bullet and go to REI for a fitting. And my REI here in Columbus, Ohio is not really focused on lightweight backpacking gear because it's just not something people do a lot here. We have a lot of cycling equipment, a lot of tailgating equipment. I went ahead and made an appointment, but prior to that, I had gone online and looked at their selection of ultralight packs. So I had ordered 2 hyperlight mountain gear. The Wind Rider was the specific model, and I ordered the 2400 and the 3400. I also ordered 3 the Osprey packs that were on the lighter side, and I had them all delivered to the store because they didn't have any of those in stock. So when I got to my appointment, I said, here are the packs I'm interested, tell me which other ones you recommend, but I had those to try on with all my gear, which made it a lot easier to kind of start narrowing it down. And the Hyperlight Mountain Gear packs, I had the same problem that I had with the Gossamer gear and the Z packs. Fit in the torso, fit in the hips, love the packs, super light, shoulder straps too far apart, cutting into my arms. So the first pack REI recommended I try was the Asia 48. I think a lot of people take this on their through hikes for the PCT and AT. It's really light. It's got this really nice like mesh back where tons of air can get through. It has dual side pockets for your water bottle, so I could get my water bottle in and out of here, but it has to be a very short bottle versus if you can store it long ways and reach it, you can do one of the 1-liter bottles. I know a lot of people love these extra padded straps. I found them to be a little bit irritating. So it didn't have any hip belt pockets, which I liked, and all the Ospreys we're going to talk about today have this kind of new, I call it like the butterfly frame, where it's kind of like the bottom of a butterfly wing. And so what I found is you can't store anything down there. So if you have a pack liner in it, it's not going to be shaped like this, so trying to push something down there just really isn't possible. It does have a removable brain, which I have here. And I did find that with the 48, this is not a 48-liter pack if you're in an extra small. This is a 42-liter pack, and then if you lose the brain, you're down even lower, and I found that it was too small, and when I went up to, too small to fit all my gear, and when I went up to the larger size, I'm not getting the weight savings that I was hoping to get. It was an okay pack. For me, I just didn't find it super comfortable compared to how comfortable my kite is. So the next 2 packs we tried were the Lumina 45 and the Lumina 60. And there are a lot of reviews online saying just stick with the Asia, it's not worth it to go to the Lumina. And I can see why people say that. I felt that these packs were more comfortable than the Asia for me. They are lighter weight. The brain is not removable, which is a little disappointing, but they still have this kind of butterfly shape, and we have these dual access pockets. These are a little bit deeper, so I was able to get a little bit larger water bottle in them. One of the things I don't like about this pack is all the exterior pockets are pure fabric, so there's no mesh, which makes it really hard to kind of dry stuff out. I don't like a bunch of stuff hanging off my pack. I find it sends me off balance, and I think the smaller you are, the more you'll notice that. I also don't like it because I'm kind of clumsy and I like get things caught on tree limbs and stuff like that. So if you look online in reviews of the Lumina, one of the big complaints is that this material is really thin and that you can see through it. I don't care who can see what's in my pack. Not a concern while I'm hiking. The other thing about that is, people say, well, what if it rips? Well, they have a great warranty. Shove some duct tape on it and get it fixed later on. I don't think it's like such a big deal, and I wouldn't not buy this pack because of that. What I did find is because it is thin, and I have a Nylofoam pack liner as opposed to a Polycro one, it crinkles more. And so when I was walking and I had it in here, I could just hear it crinkling because there's nothing to deaden the sound. If you get an extra small, the 45 liter is actually a 39 and the 60 is a 54, and I had plenty of extra space in here. It's not the end of the world. It wasn't so big that it was uncomfortable. I tried the 45, and because this pocket is enormous on the outside, and it's a true exterior pocket, it doesn't eat into the space that's on the inside of the pack. I tried putting my tent here because my tent's kind of light. It only weighs about 23 ounces. but I found that it was still causing me to tip back a little. It just wasn't a comfortable place for me to carry my tent. So I really have been walking around my house with this Luma 60 and all my gear in it. And things seemed okay. I noticed the crinkling and I was like, well, I'll just get a new pack liner. They're not super expensive, and I can find one that crinkles less. And I thought it was squeaking a little bit, and I wasn't 100% sure. So I went out on a kind of 5-mile short hike, and I took this and I loaded up all my gear in it, and I got about 5 minutes in, and I was so irritated with two things that I turned around, went back to my car, dropped the pack, and then finished my hike. So the two things that irritated me are, yes, it is squeaking, and the other thing is, because on the 60, our little butterfly wings come out so far here, when you have the pack on, there's this huge span of just this really taut strap. So I've got my pack on, and I'm walking with my hiking poles now, and when I have my trekking poles, my elbow is just hitting this strap and bouncing off over and over and over. For that reason only, the Lumina is out for me. I think if maybe you're a little bit taller, you have a little bit longer torso, and your arms kind of miss that, it would be a great pack. So after the Ospreys weren't like 100%, they weren't bad, they weren't great, I just sort of panicked. And in a panic, I ordered another pack from REI and another one from Amazon, and here they are. So this is the REI Flash 55. One of the things I love about both of these packs is that neither of them come in purple or teal. They have like adult colors. So this one came in gray, and I think it comes in a mustard yellow. And this is a Granite Gear Crown 60, and it comes in black. I didn't see it at REI in black, but I found it in Amazon in black. And I really like, just color-wise, I'm just so over purple and teal, I can't even tell you. I did not properly read the REI description. I just said, oh, it's an extra small from REI. Of course it'll fit. User error. This is a 16-inch torso pack. It is way too big. But I did want to show it to you because if it fit, I think this probably would be the one I would go with. It is completely modular, which means all of these little pockets that I don't like typically can be removed. So I do want to point out, a lot of people have said just, replace the little pocket here and get a clip-on water bottle holder. But I don't find those to be very comfortable. If you have a larger chest, they tend to like bounce off into space. And I also find, because if you have a shorter torso, where your hip pocket is or your hip belt is, and then where your sternum strap is, it's just such a short distance that carrying a water bottle, one, it's not going to be a very big water bottle, and there's just not a lot of room to work with. So I like things to be clean and simple and not having a lot of bells and whistles. But this also it has a 2-side pocket. So instead of being dual access where people worry about, the dual access pocket, are things going to fall out, this is just a mesh pocket that's strictly for your water bottle. I did find it a little bit hard to reach, but it wasn't bad. It's got a nice mesh back, and overall, because it's modular, you can really lighten this up, and it would be just over 2 pounds, I think. So great pack overall. I felt like this hip belt on the Flash 55 was by far the most comfortable. I'm typically not a fan of the bigger hip belts, but this was so comfortable. Unfortunately, I probably had an inch between, once the hip belt was on, an inch before this would rest on my shoulders here in the crease of the strap. So overall, it wasn't going to be the pack for me, but I was devastated. I wish I would have never ordered it because now I know what I'm missing. So this is the Granite Gear Crown 260. I love that it is black. I haven't seen another women's pack that's black, so I think that's just fantastic. It has a brain. It is a little, I didn't need it because it's just 60 liters, it's just absolutely enormous. I don't need that much space. And it fit really well in the hips, but again, just like the REI Flash, this gave a range on the size, and it was just too big. And you can't really adjust these in a way to make it rest comfortably. So unfortunately, it is what it is, but it's going to be going back here tomorrow. So disappointing, but overall great pack, and if you're a little bit taller, I would totally give it a try. So you're probably thinking, why am I watching this? Because she keeps saying how great all these packs are, and then they don't actually work for her. So that's where it comes to the lessons learned. And my lesson learned was I spent hours and hours and hours researching packs, trying them on, to only find out that sticking with what I had was going to be my best solution. I am open to finding a pack on the trail. I definitely am going to be stopping in outfitters. I'm going to be checking out what other people are carrying. There are a lot of packs from places like ULA and MLD, and I want to try those, but I'm to a point where I just kind of have to say enough's enough and spend my time preparing physically for the hike and spending time with friends and family before I go. So in order to make this pack work for me, I am going to be changing it up. So there's a divider in here between, it's for the sleeping bag compartment. I'm going to be removing that. I wanted to cut out a total of six ounces to get it down to 48 ounces because that was kind of my target base weight. In order to do that, I will have to get rid of the built-in cover, pack cover. However, if you get rid of the built-in pack cover, one of the problems is this absorbs water. So I'm not really taking the pack cover to protect my gear. That's why I have a pack liner. I'm taking the pack cover so that the backpack doesn't absorb as much water. And it's really do you want to carry 3 ounces when it's not raining, or do you want to be carrying 8 ounces when it is raining? And that's just, I'm going to see how it goes, so that I may end up ditching it, but for now I think I'm gonna keep it to start the trail. I'm also going to be shortening up some of the straps and taking off some of the plastic odds and ends to just cut some weight. I don't use them and they snag on things when I'm trying to pack it up. But I love that I can get all my gear in there, and I found a way to use this sleeping bag compartment to my advantage. I've done some research and found that a lot of women who have this pack said that when they use a trash bag or other kind of liner, that they put their tent in the sleeping bag compartment and then drop in the liner.
All right, so here are the items that we ended up removing from the pack. So we have the inside brain pocket, which I've never used, the sleeping bag compartment divider, some loops from the outside I've never used. These were straps that were just simply too long, so these pieces were always just hanging off the pack. My sister helped me cut those off, and you just burn the ends, and then she flipped over and sewed for me the additional parts. And then some of the plastic pieces that I removed because I never used them. The total weight savings was about 3.5 ounces, but more importantly, the pack is just more usable for me now, and that's really why I did it, and I wouldn't recommend voiding your warranty for any other reason than to make the pack really fit what you need.
But sometimes what you have is really the best thing for you. So it's kind of a hard lesson to learn, and I certainly didn't like wasting all the time. So hopefully this video helped you save a few hours of research. So I'd really appreciate it if you like this video and subscribe, and I'll see you in a few days.